Hey everyone, just bear for a moment, trying to connect. All right, guys. So sorry, was experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties. Today on our live, we are going live with Trey Arts. If you don't know who Trey is, you need to know. Trey is a paint night king of Toronto. He hosts a wide variety of paint nights, including paint nights for children. He has one coming up tomorrow that I'm going to be participating in with my
Can you
kids,
see
and
it or
it's for
what?
the Grinch. But he has corporate events, he does private parties, as well as Freaky Fridays. So check Trey out. We're going to be discussing Brandon and
Getting
how
this
he
live
went
ready.
about
Hold
branding
on, hold
his
on. What's going
business.
on here?
So we're just waiting for him to join.
Put this thing inside this frame
Trey,
back.
are you there? Hold on. I think we're having some connecting issues.
I can't see you. I can't see you. I'm gonna come out and come back in.
Hold on. We're having some issues connecting with Trey. Just bear with me for a moment. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining. Just bear with me for a moment. It's like good old internet is great.
And we there. And we there.
There you are.
Gosh. Holy.
Having connection issues.
I don't know what it was on my line or I don't know what's going on, but
Oh, that's okay. You're
everything's
here
set
now.
now. How's
You're here
everything?
now. You're here now. That's all that
Right,
matters.
right.
Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. Great. I just did a crazy drive to do some shipments out, but I'm doing great. I'm doing
I
great.
got mine. I actually got mine yesterday. I'm so excited.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah,
Good,
I
good.
got it.
Okay, you got it in time. Good,
Yeah,
good.
that is fine. Yeah, it came right on time. Signed, sealed, and delivered. I'm excited.
All right, yo, girl, your lighting is good, man. Holy,
Oh, I
hold
have
up.
I have a production going on in here.
Oh,
I have
jeez,
like umbrella lights in here. I have a
I need some
window.
more light.
Yeah.
Holy, jeez,
I have a
the girl got lighting all over this place.
I know,
Jeez.
no, no. I have a bunch of. I'm kind of extra that way. So,
I heard that, I heard that.
yeah. So, thank you so much for joining me today.
For
We're going to
sure.
be discussing Brandon and how you went about branding your business. So, for those who don't know you, I'm pretty sure most of Toronto by now knows you. And
They
for your
should, right?
nights, they should, yeah. If
They
they
should know
haven't,
me.
they should.
Holy.
So I want you to talk about, your business, how you
Okay.
opened the business for, and why you decided to get into the paint nights.
All right, no problem. So for those who don't know me, I go by Trey Arts and Toronto-based artist, born in Guyana, big up I'm a Guyanese. And so I got into art, first of all, just a long story short, I was, in a lot of problem with the law and basically art kind of saved me. So with that, I, I actually used art to, it was like a therapy for me.
Yeah.
So also we're going to talk about like this whole branding thing. So I never know how to brand it out into stuff, but art saved me. So I was trying to see who else I could help. So I got into just letting people know that I could paint. I never let people know as a Guyanese man or a Caribbean man, you're not supposed to do those type of things as a man. So now I just put it out there right in front of everyone now. And it was something that I love doing. And at those times, this was maybe 12 years ago, 10 years ago, either 12, 10 to 12 years.
Mhm.
And that's when I was on house arrest that I came up with Trey Arts.
Okay. Oh,
Yes,
cool. Okay.
it's a
So
bad situation.
that's okay. So then, you said that some issues that you're going through at the time had developed you to create that artistic field. Did you go to school for it, or you just taught yourself?
No, I was self-taught. In Ghana, I was always drawing. I never used to like painting. So I always drawing first. So mostly sketches. And it was something that I just never want to go to school for because I want to teach myself my own craft. I can't let somebody else teach me their craft. It's not my craft. So I never went to school for it. I just self-taught and pick up pen, pick up pencil, pick up pencil crayons, anything that I could find my niche until like I create my business, my brand.
Amazing. And how
Thank
long
you.
have you said Trey Arts have been you created about 12 years ago, you said?
I started letting people know I painted about 12 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I create Trey Arts about, it's on, shoot, but 8 years ago.
Oh, 8 years ago. Okay.
About 8 years ago. Damn, yeah, about 8 years ago.
Time flies, eh?
Yeah, jeez. I'm just like, damn.
So, yeah, I know. And
Yeah.
now you have a studio, and now you have this paint night thing going on. That,
Yes.
I'll tell you how far you've come.
Yeah.
Did
So
you, did you,
it took 8 years, but
yeah,
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
yeah. Did you see yourself being where you are now? Like, was that part of your plan, or did it just happen organically?
It's funny that you mentioned that because beginning of the year, my friend actually sent a Facebook chat that we were having, and it said in 2000 and I think it was like 2012. It says I want one day I want to own my own studio. I want to teach kids how to paint.
Mhm.
I picture myself being in a position like this, but I never pictured to be like this.
Like this.
This is what I not had in mind. I had more like a school type of thing, art
Yeah.
gallery in mind. I never had what I have right now, but I did. This is something I wanted for a long time, a long time.
I remember when you just got the place and you started to paint the wall. But I met you, if you remember, when you did my birthday
Hmm.
2 years ago, and you were at the your dad's shop at the time, and you just got the location. It's 3 years now, right? That you
About
had it.
3 years now, yes. Geez, yeah, about
Wow,
3 years now,
wow,
man.
look at that,
Yeah,
amazing.
thank
So,
you.
how would you describe your brand? Um, you're amazing at branding. You look at your page, you can tell that you have a brand going on. How would you describe it, and where did it come from?
Well, okay, so first of all, I want to let people know about branding is not just about a logo. You just don't have a logo and, oh, I have a brand. Brand is not about a logo. It has maybe like a couple percentage that has to do with just branding, but a lot of people always think branding is about, I have a logo and it's a brand. No, that's not what branding is. So with me, for me to get my branding, I had to figure out my target market, like who I want. What is the purpose of my business? If you look at Nike, why would you buy a Nike shoe or a Nike thing? Because of the branding. It's the shoes are amazing. The price is amazing. Everything comes into that brand. So what I want to do, I'm just like, okay, how do I brand my art? How do I brand myself out to others other than just a logo? So when my branding, when it came up with this paint night idea, I had to figure out what is my brand going to be about. And my first thing is about the community. My branding is about the community, about just it's about me. It's about using art as therapy. All right. So anybody who is looking at my page or even see my work, they see something in themselves. All right. So that's how I brand myself out. It's just, you don't, this is something I did before. I used to think about myself. My business is what I want, but what I fail to do is look at my target market, what they want, what they like. So I start branding to my target market. And that's why a lot of my work is all Black female empowerment, because that is my target market. So when it comes to branding, I'm learning every day about new strategy to do or new promotion to do or what else to add into also a product. So product also come with branding. It's all about how somebody feel about your business, your service. That's all have to go under branding. You just can't give a service and people don't like it and it's just like your branding is going to look bad. So it's
Yeah,
what you put out is what you have to think about. That is what branding is also about.
for
So
sure.
yeah. So it when I was doing my branding, man, I was thinking like, okay, who's my clientele? So that's why I tell people always have a business page so you could see the insights. With me, 90% of my followers are females,
Mhm.
and that is my clientele. So I put out things for them. I brand stuff for them. And that's how you get to know you need to know your target market first before you can even start in branding.
And it makes sense too, right? And that way, not only are you marketing to females, but now, you know, for the Freaky Fridays, now they want to bring their boyfriend in for the kids.
Exactly.
So you're kind of branching out. That's your main target, but then you also have another branches as well that you can branch out in.
Exactly.
Another thing I noticed is that you touch a lot of social issues that we, especially within the Black community. You did a painting on Breonna Taylor.
Yes.
When Black Panther passed away as well. So what motivates you to touch base on those social issues? A lot of times people want to stay away from that. Like, oh, I don't want to get all political. I don't want to. But you're right all up in it.
Man, I took some, even when Nipsey died, I did something for him. I took backlashes on all my stuff, no matter what I put out. But I don't really, I don't care. I put out all these things because it's just, we don't see these things. Are we going to see, like, if a white man die, it's going to be all over. Like, we haven't seen our people supporting our people. So what I've done, I'm just like, I like to draw people. This is what I do. So why don't I use that time and create artwork for them, and also where my community can also create it as well. Because just because we don't know those individuals personally, they still impact our life some way.
Yeah.
So this is also where branding goes on. So it's just, you have to, I'm trying to not make it sound bad, but you have to grab the moment while it's happening. You understand? So it's when all that happened, I felt like me as an artist, I had to put out a piece of work, especially if that person inspired me. As Black Panther, like Chad, like, he had cancer and no one knew he had cancer, and he was up in patient with cancer, get over cancer. And he's not, so that is just like, with that, like, he had a special spot for me. So with others, could be the same thing. So I had to create pieces that are also going to connect with me and also with my target market.
Oh, for sure. And again, you know, going back to even Breonna Taylor, that could have been anybody. That could have been anybody. That could have been anybody. No, George Floyd could have been, right? So Chad, they all celebrities, but they all touched us in many different ways, right? So it makes people highlight, and it's unfortunate that people are giving you backlash, because backlash about what? What exactly is it backlash on? You're using your time to advocate for issues that are faced that aren't being addressed.
Yeah, you know, it's weird because even like people was asking me to do for Kobe. They asked me to do a paint night for Kobe. My guys, no, it's not the right time to do this. But people want to paint that piece because they want to let out whatever hurt or whatever feeling they had. So when I did Nipsey, my gosh, girl, Lord, I got backlash for Nipsey. People's like, oh, you're making money off the man and this and that. I'm like, hold up. I did not want to do this. It's my target market asked for this. And also, people did not know, I had 3 paint nights for Nipsey, all sold out. And after those proceeds, went to the Nipsey fundraiser. And a lot of people did not know that. And only those who purchased tickets and came here knew that. And it was something that we did for, at least for Nipsey, right? Like, just because someone died, like, you just never want to just be sad all the time. So I kind of make it into an event where we could celebrate his life and also leave with a work of art that you created.
Yeah.
So, but the backlash was crazy, but oh well, life goes on.
You can't please everybody, right? That's where the target market. You never hear anyone marketing to everybody, right? You can have a large target market or a niche, but it has to be targeted. So there's always going to be someone that's going to complain and hate. That's all it is, you know?
Oh, facts, man.
You know your intentions, right? So at the end of the day, you're always going to have some hater in the corner trying to hit on your grind. So I'm glad that you're not letting any of that influence. With that being said, is there anything that you would do differently in approaching political issues? So you mentioned that Nipsey, that people assumed that you were just trying to make money off of him, but actually some of the funds were going towards donations. Would you go about addressing that differently, or would you?
I did not address it at all. I just think there's certain things need attention and certain things doesn't. Not just all negative things, you put your energy in it. And I realized in that time, with especially like with Nipsey loss, it was not a time for me to address all of those things. And those are people who are not even supporting me. So I
Yeah.
don't really care what those people say. Those are not my clientele. Those are not my target market. And more importantly, is what how my target market feel. So I think I addressed it by not addressing it, and because I feel like it's just me putting like fuel to the spark, and it's gonna be into a flame, and then be like, the social media thing. Oh, Trent said this and this. I just decided not to just leave it and just talk to people who actually purchased the ticket and let them know more in depth on why I did the paint night. Not only because they asked for it, but this is something that because I've done a Nipsey painting, and I'm just like, if you guys want to paint it and everybody might want it, why don't you guys just come and paint it and recreate it your own self, so you guys have your own feeling into your own art. So, but a lot of people doesn't understand that, who does not support or do my paint night. So I just don't pay attention to those things. Don't pay attention to the negative thing.
Yeah, it's something to entertain. If you have three paint nights, that speaks for itself. Voluntary there, right? No need to entertain people. People that are going to sit there and try to, and hate. No need for that, because they're not supporting you anyways. Or Nipsey, right?
Yeah.
Well, with back to your branding.
Yes.
It's important to brand, because a lot of times people, they have talents, they get up, they're showing their talent, but they have poor or no branding. Why do you think branding is important to a business?
It's like, if you have no branding, you have no vision. So how is your clientele going to see what you're trying to put out when you don't even know what you're putting out? So you have to have a vision on what you're doing. You have to be consistent on that vision, because the reason why, for example, people know about my paint night. I've been consistent with the paint night. I've been consistent why I do the paint night. So whatever business you're in and whatever products you're putting out, you have to understand your target market, why you're doing it, what you want them to feel, what's the purpose of you putting out that product. So branding is very important. It's a backbone of building a company. If you have no branding, if you have no plan on where this business is going, where really is it going to go? So branding basically starts out, you just can't be, let me just open a business and just let's see how it goes. With what? You have no what? Branding just don't mean, let me have this promotion here, this promotion there. That's not only branding. People always misjudge all these other things, and branding is just something so simple. Why are you doing it? Why? What is the purpose of doing it? So, for example, my paint night is a community. I want to help people with art therapy, through art therapy. I want people to also create their own pieces, to have their own. This is the reason why. That's what my Trey Arts branding is about. Is a community, right? I want create a safe space. Whatever you have out there, you come into a Trey Arts paint night, you forget about all of those things. So my branding from then is going to speak for itself, because now whoever comes into my paint night will go out there and take my brand with them and share it with others. And they're not saying, Trey Arts logo is amazing. They don't talk about your logo. They talk about your branding, what you give. I went inside there. It was a great atmosphere. They had a bar on this side. He has the table set up. Those are all branding. Branding, they don't talk about your logo. They talk about what service you provide and how well you do it and how they feel after.
Yeah, the experience. I actually touched base earlier this week talking about the experiences. Like you said, a lot of people think that brand is just your logo, your colors. That's amazing. That's the start of it, but it's also you can have an amazing logo and a crappy service, and where's that going to take you? The experience is what lasts long and takes a memory with you to say, man, I went to this place. I was talking about your paint nights for a long time, right? And
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Like, even if you're in a bad mood, there's no way to come into your paint nights and leave in a bad mood. You know what I mean? So that, like you said, the therapeutic part of it, some people
Hmm.
don't realize that art is therapy, especially within our community where we don't
Hmm.
really think about therapy because it's not a big thing,
For
unfortunately.
Black people.
Yeah. And so I think that expressing, relieving that stress or whatever therapy might need through art is not as, what's the word now? It's not as conformed as, going to see a therapist or anything like that. It's
Hmm.
a good way for you to express yourself and actually relieve some of the stress that you may have through
Correct.
painting and through coloring books too. That's another thing you started
Mm.
doing the coloring. So there's many different avenues. So it's great to see that you're taking that, which is your natural talent, and
Thank you.
organically expand that and share that with people. It makes sense, right? And
Hmm.
I've seen your
For
business
sure.
grow over, like, not to say overnight, but a tremendous amount. There's
Yeah.
people who've been in business longer than
It.
you who haven't been where you
Hmm.
are. You own a studio, you own paint kits, your own apron, your own coloring book. Need I go
Preach it,
on?
girl. Preach it, girl. Preach it.
I went on to order your the paint night kit. I'm like, man, he
Hmm.
has all of these things, and it's great you're putting
Yeah.
that out there because then now you're putting out different avenues. So even if I can't make to a
Exactly.
paint night, I can order a previous one, or I can have the apron on that if I just want to be able
Correct.
to paint my own thing whenever with my kids, I have that there. So you can expand your brand in many different ways,
In
not
many different ways.
a logo, right?
Correct.
So in terms of COVID, I know we spoke about this when I hijacked your
When we were there, like, yeah. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Speak
my
the thing.
business.
Speak the thing.
How has COVID helped your business grow, or has it grown since COVID?
All right. So, guys, just know this. All right. So before COVID, I was doing about 10 paint nights a month, and this is mostly all private. And so when COVID hit, I was like, damn, because most of my clientele is our like in studio clientele. So I was forced to find ways to take this virtually, forced to expand my brand, right? So this is now when I have to rebrand my business.
Mhm.
Now, what is Trey Arts now? So now, when I do all my virtual pay nights, why am I doing virtual pay nights? What's the purpose for my virtual pay nights? So when COVID hit and I did my virtual pay night, and I could, it was the first one was no light, guys. It was 9 people. I was like, Lord gosh, oh my God, like I was like 9 people, but that was better than no people inside my studio. So when I keep on doing it, I keep on pushing my brand more. Guys, stay home, stay safe. All you have to do, order the package. It comes to you. It have this. It just give them a reason, a purpose on why you're doing this virtual pay night, and people are starting to click onto it. So it went from 9 to like 400 people in like 2 months.
Holy smokes,
So
400 people! Wow.
400. Well, Mother's Day was like about 460 somewhat people
Holy
was
smokes. Congratulations. Wow.
thank you. So it turned into having 10 paint night a month to have about like 2 paint night a month that where one paint night made more money in COVID than like my 40 paint night in 3 months
Yeah.
or 4 months, you know. So it COVID really helped me push my brand more, helped me get my aprons, my things that I'm doing now. I don't think I would ever have done when COVID didn't happen.
Yeah.
So COVID actually made me, in business wise, much wiser and realize where my money have to go.
Excellent. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to know. Amazing. Congratulations on that.
Thank
So
you.
just
Thank you.
one other question, two other questions. In
Hmm.
terms of branding, is there anything that you would recommend to, because you mentioned rebrand, is there anything that you would recommend in terms of a company who's starting to start it out in branding
Hmm.
or a company to rebrand? Like at what point do you think a company should reconsider rebranding?
All right. So, so guys, in everything you do in life, you have to find your niche. You could make purses, do eyelashes. You have to find a niche. Your niche is something different that nobody else can do, that what you do. So first of all, you need to find that, right? And also, what I have done, I have tried to do everything myself. Guys, fire yourself. If you can't do a project, fire yourself. I fired myself. I cannot answer email. I cannot write stuff. So I fired myself and I hired an assistant because I'll always see emails, I get overwhelmed and I just leave it, and that's lost. That's money, potential money gone. So first thing, guys, plan your things out, plan it out. I cannot stress that. I never done this. I now start doing this during COVID because I never know how important it is when you have to rebrand. You have to plan. Don't just be like, oh, let me think about this. Oh, let me just throw it out. Plan every single thing. And yeah. Okay, so I'll just read a comment. I just get tossed.
You can and can't do it. Yep. Know your pros and your cons, your strengths and weaknesses, and then how people
Exactly.
help you with them.
Exactly. So you have to know. So if you guys are rebranding, again, if you're rebranding, what is going, like, who is your target market? I'm gonna keep on saying that. Who is your target market? So when you guys are rebranding, you have to think about all of those stuff. You have to think about like with me, for my artists out there, if you guys are rebranding your art, you have to think about who you're gonna get, how your shipping's gonna work, what's gonna make you different from your pieces, what your piece involved. You have to think about all those little pieces that you really don't think about. Again, all falls under planning. So if you guys are rebranding, think about your color scheme. Yeah. You have to have a nice, I need to go on your page on Instagram, and then go on Twitter, and then go on LinkedIn, and then go on website, and I could see everything just flows. If everything flows, it just attract, like a buyer. So if you just have purple on one website and you have all blue on the next website, then it doesn't go. Your brand have to be consistent. And once you're rebranding, you have to have that consistency throughout everything you do.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And you're a prime example. You're prime example. You go on your website, you go on your Instagram, you can see the brand, you can see the consistency, you can see the color. So that's excellent advice. And in closing, is there anything that you mentioned the target market, you mentioned unique. Is there anything that you've learned through your experiences that probably didn't work out so well that you want to give as a forewarning to say, okay, guys, consider when you're doing this not to do that? One thing you talked about was the website and doing your own. I don't want to touch on that, or if there's something else that you want to mention.
Shoot, yeah. Well, my website sucked before. I did my website by myself. Like I said, I thought I know everything. So I did it myself. So what I would have done differently, or I felt like if I knew now I would have done, is about, again, firing myself. Getting the right people. And I always try to build a team, and I go out looking for that team. Your team don't come like that. Team just comes naturally, organically, and that's what I've been looking for. So when I did my website, it was not on par. Guys, I had like 10 logos before I had this logo right here. So you have to find, I spoke about like logo before too, is you have to have something that what is kids friendly and corporate friendly, and also something that where you could just put on. So if I would, I would tell myself, like, keep my logo simple. My logo was like my face, a paintbrush, a paint, it was so much on my logo was going on. So when it comes to just color schemes and stuff, I was not on it. So I wish I learned how to really pick out color scheme, my logos, my website. I wish I learned that. And also I just wish I learned how to like pricing. And all of us are entrepreneurs, and pricing was something that I always battle on. So I wish I learned a lot more about pricing, because my stuff was like, people always complaining like, yo, Trey, your stuff is like cheap, yo, like shoot. But it's just like, I was pricing with emotion. Yeah. And every time you guys price with emotion, you always lose out. Yeah. So I always said, come up with a price, and you need to figure out your work time, your overhead costs, your product costs, and you have to subtract all that into your profit margin, right? So it's a lot. I wish I learned a lot about pricing and how to price my work, or how to price just anything, and that's something I've learned now. But other than that, I would really change anything, because it made me who I am right now. Yeah. I think if I learned all those before, I don't know, maybe I might be somewhere else, but I like this flow that I'm going with.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. And just to touch base on the pricing thing, one thing that a lot of small businesses forget is your time, your own time, right? Yeah. So and all these things, you're trying to wear all these hats, you're not charging for your time, right? So you've taken into consideration all your expenses, but part of the expenses is your time, because time is money.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing that a lot of small businesses struggle with in the beginning, and value
Mm-hmm.
themselves. Like the
Mm-hmm.
value is something that you don't really put value on yourself, so you need other people
Right.
to tell you that. So when you hear you're cheap, you're like, no, but who's gonna pay me more? And look at you, 400 plus in one paint night. Like, come on, like, you
Come
know,
on, like come on, right? It's
yeah,
just like I always tell people, you know what, guys, I've been through that time where that's why I said don't price on emotion. There's times where it's just like, oh, I just want people. Okay, all right, you know what? I'll give you two for this price. I'll just get people. So what when you guys start doing that, what you build now is a inconsistent business.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
people just gonna come when they feel like and pay what they feel like because that's what you've been doing. So once you guys just and those people, those are not your clientele.
yeah, yeah.
Those are not your clientele. You have to change and look
Everyone,
elsewhere for your clientele.
yeah,
And when I started my business, I was doing a lot of stuff for free just to get out my work. I was doing a lot of life painting. So I go to events and I just paint there. A business need to know like, listen, best way is influencer. My assistant told me about this influencer advertising, and it's just like word of mouth. Word of mouth is still one of the best way to get your work out there. So if right now, just take advantage of Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, especially like find influencer, give them product and let them talk about your product. That's word of mouth, and
yeah,
that's one thing
yeah.
I wish I kind of knew a little more before too.
Everything's a learning lesson, right? Everything's a
For
learning
sure.
lesson, and some things that you don't want to say that, okay, wish I'd done this differently. Now you know you can share that information with other small businesses. And that's part of
Correct.
the reason why I'm doing this, right? Some of the mistakes that I've learned, I say no, not mistakes, learning lessons that I've learned. I want to share them with other
Hmm.
people because if I can help someone else not to make the same mistake that I made, well, why not, right? And
Hmm.
so we're building that community where we're helping each other out. So that's amazing. Thank you so much for all the information, for all
No
the advice.
problem.
Nathan,
Thank you for that live.
you said congratulations. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Continue.
Thank you.
I'm gonna be there tomorrow. I can't wait.
I
Guys,
know it's gonna be crazy.
I know it is. All the kids are gonna
I'm
love
gonna
it.
dress up. I'm gonna dress up as Santa Claus.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't
I'm
wait.
I'm just dressing up as
I
Santa
get
Claus.
such
So
high energy. Like Trey, I don't know where he gets his energy from, but like high energy, entertain. Like
girl,
you don't paint and sit down and watch him. Like just you have to.
there's sometimes I don't even know myself, man. It's like and I think it just falls under once you find something that you love doing,
Yeah.
you just gonna do it like it's your first time doing it over and over again. So
Yeah.
it's I'm glad everyone, and that's the thing, with branding, you have
Yeah.
to figure out every single thing. Are you gonna pursue this? So
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do a virtual paint night.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna keep people entertained, so I have to act like me, I have to act like Trey. So it's good. I'm glad that you guys like it.
Oh, it's amazing, and your work has been touching thousands of lives. Like I said, I've seen you grown, and I wish you
Thank you. Yeah.
grow even further. So, guys, check out Trey Arts tomorrow for the paint night. If you can't make it tomorrow, he has many more. Go to his website,
There's so much more.
treyarts.ca.
Hmm.
He has lots of merch on sale there as well.
Yep.
Absolutely enjoy your events.
Ah.
Thank you so much, Trey. Thank
Thank
you.
you, love. Thank you. Stay safe. Bye.
You too.